Hello and good evening everyone. Welcome to this video about attacking lineups. This has always been some favorite pastime for me to think about very attacking lineups. And for testing attacking lineups, I switched here to my first account on server 5 because here I have all the heroes, or almost all the heroes. I just realized that I did not pay attention and I didn't get Isaac. That was a bit stupid because this account is the only one where I have Cleaver, so I can do some tests with him. But here first let's set up a very defensive lineup with a lot of health that is difficult to pass, so that we can really find out which attacking lineup does best against this lineup. So where is Marta? And then I like to go also for Marcus and Astaroth. No, not Cornelius, Marcus. Here he is. Okay, so I think this is really, I did some tests already, a very nice as I call it, dummy lineup, or well, maybe not an appropriate name, maybe rather call it a very defensive lineup with a lot of armor. Astaroth, Andvari and Marta, they have armor as a first artifact. Then Sebastian is nice for giving some protection against all the effects or charming, and Marcus generally is stabilizing any lineup. Is also a very high armor should Astaroth fall at some point. Also his first skill is interesting, giving invincibility for 5 seconds, if I remember correctly, to his teammate or to himself, just to the guy with the lowest health in the lineup. Later on when we will do some tests with magic attack lineups, maybe we'll have to do some little changes there, maybe then playing with Lilith instead of Marcus, and maybe with Sebastian, with Isaac instead of Sebastian, or yes, we will see that later. But first I like to test some physical attack lineup with Keira. So defensive lineup. Okay, I could also have put it on manual attack, but let's first try the automatic, like the same mode as in Arena, where you cannot trigger your ultimates manually. And now let's see. The most attacking lineup for Keira, I always thought that it was with Jet. As long as no Helios is around, I think it's a good idea to bring Jet along when you have physical attackers. And then also with Galahad, I think when it comes to the attack, he's really adding the most to your lineup, because his first artifact is physical attack increase. And then we have Keira, and I would assist her by Jing Mao. She has armor penetration as her first artifact, has an enormous forward thrust, and also is doing a lot of damage, so she's certainly better than Elmir, who also has armor penetration. And then Keira we have in the middle, and yes, and here is a question. I have a feeling sometimes maybe Sebastian is better, and sometimes maybe Nebula could be better. It's a close one. I think both of these lineups will pass here. So let's see what happens. We'll try to pass with a team for Kark afterwards, and I think there is no team with Kark that can pass here. Except maybe if we use Keira also, but that's for me, this is not a lineup for Kark And we had Keira. You see, it is really a tough lineup. But now, yeah, now Andwari is gone. And now it's all over. But still, it took them over 1 minute to pass here. It's quite fascinating. Keira doing a lot of damage, a huge amount of damage. And now let's see if we can find, or maybe first we go with Sebastian instead of Nebula, would also be successful, I think. No, not Astaroth, we want Galahad. And Jingmao. I think this is also successful. Maybe this is even better than with Nebula. Let's see if we can pass under 1 minute. Yeah, they're passing faster here. Okay. The damage dealing a bit more balanced than in the first battle. And now let's see what happens if we go just a little bit more defensive. We're playing with Astaroth instead of Galahad. And then I know some people also want to use Dorian instead of Sebastian, maybe. Still Jingmao. This will be a lot more difficult like this. I'm not sure if we pass here. And all these artifacts are completely maxed out in the maxed testing mode. Now Astaroth is invincible for some time and it gets really hard to pass here. It's a nice first artifact of Marcus with this glowing. Now again Astaroth is glowing. His outfit is glowing and he's invincible for 5 seconds. Or is it even 7 seconds? Now again. And oops, will we pass it all here? Doesn't look like it. On the contrary, Jingmao is dead now. Okay, resurrected by Astaroth. Okay, next time let's go with Sebastian instead of Dorian, but still stick with Astaroth. Just show. Okay, now eventually we will pass, but sorry for that. There was an interruption in the recording. But yeah, we didn't pass in time, so it's counted as a defeat. And also, if we don't play with Galahad, just maybe with Astaroth, or okay, he's a bit less popular now because his fourth skill is not so attractive anymore, because when the other guy is using a Morrigan, his fourth skill doesn't work, basically. Instead of bringing someone back from the dead, bringing an ally back from the dead, this ally just directly transforms into the little undead skeleton controlled by Morrigan. Still, when there is no Morrigan on the other side, then he can be useful if you have a fragile superstar like Kark. Above all, if you play with Kark, then it really might make sense to take Astaroth as your tank. But when you play with Keira, I don't really see a need anymore. I know I played with Astaroth on my second account on server 31. I played with Astaroth, but I regretted that later. I really, if I would play with Keira again, then I would definitely go for Galahad. He's just more attacking, or maybe also for Cleaver, I don't know. He could also be very strong for sure. But yeah, okay, let's go to... I'm sure Galahad is better than Astaroth if you play with Keira and want to have a very attacking lineup. Let's see if we can pass here with the lineup for Kark at all. This standard lineup I keep seeing, I think it doesn't work because there is Andvari, and Kark really doesn't like Andvari. How do these guys play with Nebula? Nebula and Marta usually, sometimes maybe Sebastian. If you have a critical attack, if you have a physical attacker like Kark or Keira, I think it's always a little bit stronger to use Keira, to use Chet instead of Marta. But it can be dangerous when there is a Helios on the other side who punishes you for any critical hit you're dealing. So, but yeah, okay, we have no Helios, and also Kark has some self-healing, so we should probably play with Chet. But I think it cannot pass like this. This would be the proof then that Keira is better, at least when there is an Andvari. When there is no Andvari, okay, I agree, then Kark maybe is still the attacker number one. Okay, Sebastian bit the dust. Yeah, okay, with some critical hits, maybe they can still pass here. Maybe. A lot of armor, of course, on this side, and then Kark is not really going through here. Getting through, only doing marginal damage. Yeah, they can't pass here. Maybe I used to play with Kai sometimes. Might be a little help here, but yeah, we'll see. It's close though, okay, but running out of time probably. Yeah, running out of time. Kark dealing an enormous amount of damage, but okay. Marta is doing a lot of healing, as always in these battles. Marcus too. Marcus is doing so much healing. That's remarkable. I wasn't aware of this. I used to play with him sometimes in the campaign when I played with Kark in first position, then Marcus, to use Marcus in second position behind Kark. is a possibility. Yeah, really, Marcus is doing a lot of healing. Okay, well, same amount as Marta does. This is unbelievable because Marta is really a very strong healer. Let's see, Marcus. Okay, 5 seconds invisibility plus healing. Here we have some healing also. Here. And this one, okay, this is just sticking around as a ghost in case he should have fallen. Can still use all his skills except the first one probably. Use all available skills. Okay, yes. So after the ascension, when he's here as a ghost daddy, then okay, he cannot use the holy shield anymore because he does not have any energy bar to load. But he can still use his second and his third skill. Okay, let's max this here. Now let's try, okay, maybe we set up another one where we can play manually. So we go with the same defensive lineup again with Marta and Wari, Sebastian, and then adding, yes, I guess Astaroth and Marcus. Who else could I add to make this more tough? Someone else instead of Marcus. I don't know, maybe, but now let's go with this. Defense 2 manual. Now let's see if we can possibly use Faceless and Kai together with Kark. And in last position, let's try maybe with Marta instead of Jet. I still think Jet is better because with his fourth skill he's providing critical hits, and also with his second skill he's lowering the armor stat of some guys of the opposition. So I think Jet here instead of Marta will probably be better, but maybe we can also pass like this when we use Kai, and then we have Faceless copy Kai. Let's see. Maybe I should tactically wait then until they have no armor active, or at least not more than one. But okay, let's try now. Yeah, okay. I can trigger manually. I guess we should easily pass here. Because I can wait until they have no armor active, and then yeah, should work, right? Now all 3 armor buffs are active. Now we have to wait. No. It's still tricky, right? Okay, so also when activating manual activation of the skills, it's not easy. So let's try with another lineup. I think Daredevil also has a lot of armor penetration, and I did some tests sometimes, and I go again with Sebastian and Chet and Ching Mao and Galahad. Or maybe let's try Cleaver. Maybe Cleaver is also... I still think that Galahad is more attacking than Cleaver. Also he has armor as a first artifact, and I will stick to Galahad. I think we'll pass like this. I'm not sure, on our server not many people are using Daredevil, but I think you could create quite some attacking lineups here. I guess they pass. Of course pets also matter, but you cannot use pets in the maxed mode. I would hate to see Ching Mao die here. Oh, well done, Chet. Heal Ching Mao, that's nice. And you see we are passing. But probably, of course, also because we use Ching Mao. And Jet is supporting always the hero with the highest physical attack, so apparently in completely maxed Ching Mao has more physical attack than Daredevil, which is a good thing. Yeah, quite nice. Okay, Ching Mao doing a lot more damage than Daredevil. And me, I'm interested to know, of course, if I could pass with Darkstar. Playing Darkstar on my current account on server 54. And I think I did not find a way to pass. If I go with Jabba and Elmir, I'm sure I will not pass. They don't have enough power for such a defensive lineup, so I will also go with Ching Mao and probably Sebastian. Maybe also no Jabba, but rather Galahad again. But it's difficult. This this trio in the front line. This is really hard. Past this Andwari, Marcus, Astaroth, and now Ching Mao is dead and probably all over. I not be able to pass here, I guess. Come on, Chet, activate your first skill before Astaroth will burn your energy again with his third skill, I think, or is it the second skill? Yeah, this is hopeless without Ching Mao here. So I guess for the all-out attacking lineup, it will not really work with Darkstar. I have to admit that. Now Fox was upgraded lately. She also got an additional skin. I think the Lunar skin, right? Or was it the Romantic skin, providing extra armor to Fox, extra armor penetration. Where do we have her? Yeah, she has the Lunar skin, giving extra armor penetration. Or maybe one could use her as a main character too. Let's see if we can pass here. Let's go for a ladies team here with Jing Mao also. And okay, maybe we try with Astaroth, so he can bring back Jing Mao should she die prematurely. And then we go with Sebastian and Chet again. Oh, that was a nice one. Critical hit of Fox, 140 kilo, plus some extra pure damage coming from Sebastian. Ooh, that's good. Oh, Fox is better than Darkstar, eh? At least they can generate more damage against the passive defensive lineup like this. It's pretty impressive. Despite her small size, Fox seems to be really a big girl now. Oh my god. Oh boy. I think Fox is now very good as your main attacker, right? She is even faster than Keira, I think, right? Oh my god. This is amazing now what such an additional skin can do. Okay, Sebastian is doing also a lot of damage. Then come the two ladies. Oh, that's nice. I don't think the Ginger can. She also has over 30 kilo armor penetration, but I guess she will not be able to pass. But who knows? Let's try with her also. Before we used Astaroth, right? But okay, let's try with Cleaver one time. Okay. Yeah, but she's not doing enough damage. She would need a Fenris attached to her, Ginger. But then the question still is, and the others have Oliver or Axel attached to them. Ginger is not doing enough damage. She has over 30 kilo armor penetration, but not much. And then, yeah, Jing Mao is doing a lot more damage here in Sebastian. Even when they pass, I think it has not much to do with us using Ginger, right? Okay, and here comes Jing Mao with her dragons. Still, she's doing a lot of damage, but with her ultimate, not so much damage. Maybe this rather her second and third skill. I have to rewatch this. Did not properly pay attention. Ginger, penetrating shot, suppressive fire. Maybe she's doing also a lot of damage with these two. Extra physical damage. I'll have to rewatch this at some point on YouTube. Okay, so this seems to work also, maybe with Ginger. Yes, right, so now when it comes to magic lineup, I know the twins can be very strong, but my feeling tells me probably Orion. As long as Orion is around, Orion is still the best magic attacker.